Welcome everyone to Spa-Francorchamps. It is round 2 of the SRW F3 Championship, brought to you by DSL Welding. Tonight, it is me, Dano Harris. Tonight I have Chef Toddy with me on comms, as we have just christened him, and Brett behind the scenes with us on the tech side of things as our producer tonight. Toddy, Spa, incredible track, iconic track. How are we feeling tonight?
Very good, very good. Little Birdie tells me this is one of your favorite car and track combinations, so it should be very interesting. I've done a couple of practice laps around here, and it's definitely not easy with the elevation change and the camber change in some of the corners and stuff. So it will be very interesting. It'll be a race on the knife edge, I believe.
Yeah, I think these boys are going to be pushing hard tonight. Tonight we have just a single race, a 40-minute race. So no super sprint like we had last week or the week before. I believe we had a little 20-minute race and then another 40-minute race. So tonight we've just got the straight 40-minute race, and it should be a good one. We've got 20-minute qualifier, about 6 minutes in or so. So about 14 minutes left to go, and we've got Alex Court, one of the well-known quick boys in this league, taking out pole at the moment by 8/10 with a 2:13.038. I've seen these boys do 2:12s. I reckon they can go quicker than that, Toddy.
That is quick. I couldn't get under the 2:20, so these guys are hauling some serious ass. That is crazy.
Yeah, there we go. Adam Hughes has just said 8/10 quicker than Alex Court, and he's done a 2:12.202. Adam Hughes is extremely quick in all forms, so he's going to be one to watch tonight.
Wow, these guys have got full tanks of gas, or full qualifying tanks of gas for now as well. These guys are just warming up as well. So once these tires get a bit warmer and the gas gets down a bit, we'll see even faster laps, which is absolutely mind blowing. So what a series, huh?
Yeah, these F3 cars are something to behold. One of the middle ground cars, I think, in iRacing. When you're coming into open wheelers, I think everyone gets drawn to those F3 cars. They're incredibly fast, but not fast as an F1 car. They're just awesome cars to drive. A little bit touchy. You're going to know how to use the clutch to get off the line, but overall, great fun to drive. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, most definitely, yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see some. It'll be interesting on coming into La Source on that first lap as well. On cold tires, we'll see how well people are on their clutch work off the line, and then coming down to La Source as well. See how well people are on their brakes, because it's very easy to lock up on cold tires and these things. So, yeah.
I think La Source, as well as Dive Bomb City, I think it's also called.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
I think these cars, when you're starting them, you have to be very careful, because if you drop the clutch too much, you end up wheel spinning, and if you don't let it out too much, you're bogged down. So it's really having the little bit of finesse, I suppose, of having your foot where it needs to be.
Yeah, you don't want to drop the clutch off the line and then flat spot it into turn one, trying to avoid something, and then you're going to be it's going to be some rough couple of laps after that.
If you drop the clutch off the line, I think you're going into a wall, to be honest. Those tires spin so fast, and it's very hard to catch it off the line, especially when you have a bunch of cars around you. Stefan Mccarthy hasn't set a lap. I believe he's on a lap now, so he's going to be pushing hard. One of the faster points as well for Crisscross Racing. Crisscross Racing, of course, have been doing very well this season, taking out a lot of points.
Yeah, he's another co-host on Sunday nights with myself for the Super 2s for the V8s. So, yes, very valued member of the community, and very quick racer, and one to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be a lovely race tonight. It's going to be action-packed 40 minutes. It's going to be an extremely action-packed 40 minutes. These cars are... When you're on track, I think that 40 minutes flies by a lot quicker than it does for us.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm sure it would. For us, we can't... Although it does fly by pretty quickly, though, because a lot of it's pretty nail-biting. So we've seen some pretty exciting races, and we're only up to round 2 now, so it's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
sorry, we've got one of the individuals in the top 10 as well. Just noticed. up in 8th at the moment.
Yes, so we've got just over. So we've got. I'm just going to count it out really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
We have 10 minutes left of qualifying,
About
guys. 10 minutes left of qualifying.
And we have about 15, 16 drivers tonight. So not sure if that's a full grid or not, but it is less than the normal 20. I think a couple of boys are missing out, maybe doing some Bathurst 12-hour practice, because that is coming up, I believe, this weekend. So that'll be a good race for a couple of the boys. So I've just brought the points up. So Adam Hughes has come out of the Red Bull ring perfectly with a 75-point lead. He's taken out the maximum points, followed by Stefan Mccarthy in P2. So 75, 72, 69. So Adam Hughes, Stefan Mccarthy, Scott Button, Brett Wardby, and Tyson Stiles are your top 5 for the championship leaderboard, as Stefan McCarthy's just an absolute incredible lap. What a lap.
Okay. As we promised earlier, guys, as the gas will come down, the gas tank gets a bit more empty and the tyres get a bit more warmer. I didn't think we'd get a lap that fast, but that's pretty impressive. Until 11, I didn't think you'd drop into there. But do you think we'll see a 210?
I reckon we will. I think we 100% will see a 210. Stefan has definitely got more in the tank there, and so does Adam. I reckon Alex is also, he's on an out lap at the moment. He's going to put in a blisteringly fast lap in this next one. Stefan Mccarthy, you can see how close these boys are in terms of pace. That is just over 0.03 of a second between those guys, as we're just on board with Alex Court now. Nice little TV pod cam. Braking just before that curbing on the left-hand side, coming into the bus stop chicane, and he's going to start his lap now. I don't know if we can get a little bit of radio silence, and we'll let him complete this lap. Across the line for Alex Court. What lap time has he done? It looks like it's a 2:13.038, or he's had an off track.
And in that meantime, we've had Adam Hughes set a 2:10. We've broken into the 2:10s, Dano.
That's a very, very fast lap. Sorry, 2:11.9. It's just come through on our timing screen. A very fast lap from Alex Court, but I reckon he's still got more in the tank. He's got more to give.
Definitely does. Definitely does.
Yeah. Toddy, did you want to run us through this iconic Spa-Francorchamps circuit? It is an incredibly historic circuit in terms of F1 and I think all motorsport. There's so many events that happen here over the year.
I would love to. I'd love to. I've been studying the old track, the corner names and all the rest of it. So as you come down the start finish straight, here we go, guys. We come down through La Source. So if you come down through La Source, as we come down through there's the old pit straight essentially, or old new essentially. We're coming up through Eau Rouge here. As we come up through Eau Rouge, the next corner up through Eau Rouge, coming up through the hill here, is Radion. You're going to come up through Radion, through Kemmel, and then down the Kemmel Straight. Then you come down to there's a few ways to pronounce it, but the Lacombe is the correct pronunciation. As we come down through here, we come down through the Lacombe. We come down through the Melmedi and the Bruxelles, or the Rivage, as they call it, this little bootleg that comes down and around. As we come down through this Bruxelles or Rivage, we come round through Speaker's Corner. It's aptly named this is because in the old track days and all the rest, you could only actually see that actual corner as a marshal and stuff from the speaker's box. So where they'd actually call a race from, you could only see that corner from. So we come down through the Double Gauche, or Pouchon, or the Pouon, a myriad of different pronunciations. As we come down through here, guys, wow, my memory does not serve me here. But we do come down through Paul Freyer here, a very famous racer named after him. And then our next set of corners down through here, guys, we're going to take this down through in 6th gear as hard as you can. You got to take this on the line and just get your line perfectly, but you want to be full on the gas, full red lining this puppy around through Blanchimont. And then we come through down through into the bus stop chicane, guys. So it's a beautiful, beautiful track with a lot of history, and we've gotten a bit sideways, and that's a perfect illustration of how you can really just even 10% or 5% too much throttle coming out of the bus stop, because you come in there with a lot of speed and you want to try and carry that speed, but if you get a bit too happy on the gas, you will spin it around, Dano?
Yeah, just a bit unfortunate. Maybe a bit of overdriving, going for that fastest lap. Just before he started that lap, Stefan Mccarthy overtook him by 13 milliseconds, and he's done a 2:10.920 over Adams' 2:10.933. So a very, very fast lap from Stefan Mccarthy there. We're coming into about the last 2 minutes of this qualifying session. Some good laps, some fast laps. Alex Court again on an outlap, probably wanting to get out of the top 5, but he's got some good starts on him. We've seen in the Porsche Cup cars, he's got some very good starting ability, so it'll be very, very good to watch the start, and it should provide us with some good racing.
Yeah, amazing. I've just noticed something as well. There's approximately just almost exactly a second between the top 5, between the top 5 and the first place getter for qualifying, which is pretty crazy of a gap, really, to be honest.
Yeah, only Stefan and Adam are actually in those top 2. So those boys are going to be fighting very, very hard at the front end of the field. Hopefully no contact comes between those two, as they're going to be fighting very hard, pushing very hard. That draft, of course, that all-important draft down the Kemmel Straight is so important. After Eau Rouge and Radion, or Radion and Eau Rouge, my apologies. I don't know which way it goes, to be honest. It's so confusing, but once you...
afterwards.
Radion's the top of the hill.
Yeah, Radion's top of the hill. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you come through there, you carry so much speed, and being behind another car, there's just no downforce, so you get such overspeed, and makes it quite easy to pass.
Air as well through there as well.
Yeah, you've got to make it work. So if you're on the inside coming into Lake Coombe, you're then actually on the outside of the next corner, because it is a little bit of a chicane, and then back on the inside. So it is very, very technical and very mentally draining it can be as to where you want to position the car and how you want to attack the driver in front.
Yeah, I've always felt like driving Spa is almost like a dance, if you know what I mean. Like, you have to kind of dance on your throttle and your clutch and your brake a little bit. You know, you have to be really kind of on it, if you know what I mean. A lot more than a lot of other tracks.
You've got to find the flow and the rhythm of the track because it's such a long track. At 2 minute 10-second lap time, about probably race pace is going to be about 2:12, 2:15 for those leaders. So you got to really find the flow, and over about 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes and a quarter, it's very easy to lose a bit of focus. It doesn't seem like a lot of time, but it really is. I know going around Le Mans can be sometimes a little bit tiring because you end up just on these straights, but Spa is just left, right, left, right. You don't get really a chance to breathe here.
No, you don't. You don't. Definitely not. Hey, and the second you become complacent on Spa, it will attack you. You know, it will catch you by surprise very, very quickly. Especially on a longer sort of, on a 40-minute race, it might not seem like that long of a race, but 40 minutes on Spa, that's these boys will be sweating, and they'll be definitely sweating, and the adrenaline will be pumping by, at least, by turn one it'll be pumping, but that last sort of third of the race, they're going to be really sweating and really adrenaline pumping pretty hard, so be good to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good. It's a just over 7 kilometers of racetrack. So it is a very, very long track. One of the longer tracks on all of the different calendars. So it is very, very good. 4.3 miles, 4.4 miles just about. So it's a very, very long track, and it does take it out of you over 40 minutes. As we've just come to the end of this qualifying session, it does look like Stefan Mccarthy will take pole. I'm not sure if we have finished. We've got about a minute and a half left. I think a couple of drivers are just finishing up their laps or jumping back in the pits.
Stefan Mccarthy, 1/100th of a second between first and second. That's pretty insane. Just sorry to
13,
cut in, but yeah, just
13 milliseconds. It's very, very close. And Alex Court unable to improve on that, but maybe he'll be able to get a couple of positions on the start. Robbie Griffiths has done very well, and Jake Edwards. I think those boys are both Fishy Motorsport, as I'm just double checking that. Sorry, Jake Edwards is Crisscross, and I believe that, yeah, Robbie Griffiths is the Fishy Motorsport car, one of the four Fishy Motorsports cars in this series.
Oh, we've had you down the back there, Scotty Barton and Scotty Rankin. Have they have not set a time by the look of that.
I believe Scott Rankin, I believe, is our safety car tonight, the promo department safety car, run by 247 Race Control, 247 Race Control, my apologies, as our independent stewards for SRW. Those boys have been doing a pretty good job all season so far.
Brilliant job. Yeah, it's been pretty awesome with the SRW TV so far. I hope you guys have really enjoyed it, and we thank you all for coming to watch and be part of our journey also. And yeah,
make sure to like, subscribe, of course, and hit that like button, share us around. Get us on the front page of whatever you're working on your Facebook, on your Twitter, on your everything. We want to see it. As we come to the qualifying results. Just not coming up for myself, but we got Stefan Mccarthy on pole. Here they are. Sorry, Adam Hughes coming out P2, just 12 hundredths, separating those two. Absolutely blindingly quick. 4/10 behind to Robbie Griffiths, Jake Edwards, Alex Court rounding out the top 5. Dylan Thomas, Troy Dooley, Colin Hodgkinson, John McHenry, one of our boys on the broadcasting team, in the top 10 there, and Nathan Verne rounding out the top 10. Those two boys at the back for Locked On Racing. There we go. Front row lockout for Crisscross Racing. Adam Hughes again and Stefan Mccarthy. And those boys are going to be finding all race. And I think the main thing that they're going to be wanting to do is not crush out your teammate, because that is one of those things that is always told together. And Robbie Griffiths sneaking in, just making sure that Crisscross don't get a 1, 2, 3. It's then followed by Jake Edwards, of course. Alex Court for After Dark Sim Racing. We're going to be keeping an eye on him. Dylan Thomas, Fishy Motorsports, Troy Dooley, Team 3, Colin Hodgkinson for Crisscross, John McHenry and Nathan Verne, both for Locked On. Brett K. Woodby is racing for, my apologies, we're almost there. Brett Woodby is for Fishy Motorsports, I believe, as well. And yeah, Greg Leake coming out. Team Greg. Always we go for Team Greg. And Stefan Sinkovic, one of the Stephen
Sinkovic.
Stephen. Apologies again.
Yeah.
It should be a good race.
Should be awesome. I just noticed that you got you got a lock it out grid from Crisscross Racing, but then you got two of the Fishy Motorsports guys in behind them. So those two Fishy Motorsport boys will be working together. So here we go, green flag.
They are lights out and away we go. Starting on the classic grid, they kind of come straight away into Eau Rouge. We got side by side behind by Jake Edwards and Robbie Griffiths. Robbie Griffiths in that Fishy Motorsports yellow car, just sitting behind, but you can see how powerful that draft is. The DSL racing car of Alex Court wanting to get behind in front as quick as possible, shoves him out to the side. He's going to be on the outside. This is probably where he wants to be. He's going to make it 3 wide, almost the number 11. I believe that's Jake Edwards in Crisscross Racing. Adam Hughes has got a great start, but he's had a spin. He's had a spin at Lake Coombe, and Stefan Mccarthy is going to take the lead from Jake Edwards and Alex Court, who's made the move. Robbie Griffiths
We didn't say lap 1 cold tires, boys. Oh no.
Sorry, what's happened? We're just having
lap
a bit of
1 cold tires, boys. Watch out.
Difficulties.
Watching for.
Action replay. He's just gone a bit too fast there. He's carried way too much speed, I think, into the corner and
laid
back
under
stepped
brakes.
out on him.
And there's no coming back from that. Once you're so late under brakes or you're that deep, there's no coming back for it, especially in these cars.
Yes, a lovely little slow-mo from Brett there, and then it's just straight after, maybe just put off by him as well. And that's happened to me a few times. Somebody spins in front of me, and then a couple of corners later, I spin, and it just does happen sometimes. Just a bit unfortunate for Jake Edwards there.
You can see that car is... Sometimes you sometimes see your teammate go off as well, and then you're like, oh, and you kind of miss something or you miss your braking point, and all of a sudden it becomes a lot harder.
Yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate seeing that car limp home. Now back live. Scott Rankin and Scott Barton, I believe, are our race stewards, hence why they're saying they are out of the race. Yeah, we're gonna watch Adam Hughes again.
So the Crisscross Racing boys haven't had the best start to the race here.
Oh, Adam's gone again.
Oh,
is this live?
Turf on the outside. That's horrible in that corner on speaker.
Sorry, that's a replay. I've been told. Yeah, that's just hot tires. I think he's just gone in a bit hot again. And another replay we've been told of John McHenry, who's gone in a bit hot and
Locked On Racing.
Has he? Oh, a bit of curb. Yeah, a bit of curb. Oh, and he's just touched his teammate there.
Has he been aided around there, or is he done that all himself?
Couple of drivers have. He's just ruined his car.
Oh no, that's unfortunate.
No, it looks okay.
He's gonna have to get back to the pits, is he? Oh, it looked like a wheel came off there.
It did look like it, but I think it's a bit of connection error. So Jake Edwards is going to come across the line. He's going to have to limp home a little bit further than normal. Sorry, that's why the lap times are quite a bit much longer, is because they are on that classic pit straight. So my apologies for that. Miss call. You can see that sign for a practice start there on the side, which is, I think, for the F1 drivers. You can sit and do a practice start. We haven't had a safety car here, so Stefan Mccarthy has been able to extend his lead from Alex Court and Robbie Griffiths, and these boys are going to be pushing a little bit hard.
They will be, but we've got Dylan Thomas up into 5th now, so Dylan Thomas started in 6th, if I'm right there. Yeah, so he's up 1 spot now. He's actually profited from these... From the Crisscross Racing boys getting a bit sideways. So,
I think the person who's profited most there is actually Nathan Verne, who's, I think, started in P10 and he's gone and up into P6 and he's gone, up 4 positions. He's going to be doing very well. He's sitting in the draft of Dylan Thomas there, so he's going to just want to sit down, get his head down. His teammates unfortunately spun, but that beautiful locked-on livery has going to be having a target for the Fishy Motorsports in front.
And also Bradley Wall, he's got a good showing going again this week. He had he had a pretty good showing, pretty consistent showing last week. So he's gone up 5 positions, mate. So he's up to 9th now. He's up from 14th. So he's done very, very well here. There's a bunch of guys that are up. We've got Brett Wardby, Greg Leake, Nathan Verne, and Colin Hodgkinson up 4 places so far. So there's been a lot of people that have very nicely profited from this.
So we're just watching on board with Nathan Verne and Dylan Thomas. This battle is heating up as they come through. Eau Rouge and Radion coming very fast. They're going to go side by side coming into Lake Coombe. Is Nathan going to go for it? He's going to sit behind and maybe go for it on a different lap. A little bit of a lock-up there, but he's going to sit in behind. And as I said, that draft is so important. And maybe that little lock-up's actually benefited Brett Wardby behind, who's having a look at him now. He's going to be able to target him. Has a little look up the inside just to let him know that he's there, and continues on. And now it's Nathan who's under the attack rather than Dylan, but he's found himself in a little bit of a Fishy Motorsport sandwich here, Toddy.
He has, He has, yeah. But I'm sure he's got it locked on, you know. But you know. Tuna, what is it? Tuna on white, no crust. Yeah. Yeah, having a brilliant race. These Fishy Motorsports boys really definitely know how to work together. But all these boys, once they get closer together as well with Locked On Racing, these Fishy Motorsports guys, it's always really hard if you end up in a sandwich with any of these guys, any of these teams, really, because it is very, very hard. And it's you know, you talk about pressure and in motor racing and things like that. Once you can see someone breathing down your neck in your mirrors the whole time, you know, you kind of try and have to block it out of your mind, but it's one of the hardest things to ever do, especially under that speed and that pressure. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's very good. I wonder if Nathan just sat behind there just to maybe get, a draft from Dylan in front and maybe made that mistake, which is unfortunate, because if that were me, I would have been diving up the inside of Dylan there to go for that P5. I know it's early in the race, but I'd want to be getting in front. As we see Brett Wardby going up the inside into La Source now. Does he get the move? They go nice and clean through there. Yep. As I was about to say, Nathan gets the better exit on the outside line, which usually does happen. Interesting thing about iRacing is that outside line is usually faster.
Yeah, if you've got enough balls to commit, pretty much, though, isn't it? That's the biggest thing. Can you be later under brakes and take the outside line also? But look at that running down Camel Straight here. Here we go, guys.
He's got the move done, but is Nathan going to come back at him? Doesn't look like it. He's just going to sit behind that number Brett Wardby. I think it's number 25.
And then number 25,
yeah.
Number 25 car.
You don't want to get it wrong. I had 3 in my mind for some reason, but yeah, the number 25 of Brett Wardby. Apologies to Brett.
He did very, very well last week.
So
he's chopped his way up a little bit, so he's chipping away at these guys. He can work with his mate up ahead as well now, so it should be good. Oh, we've got someone going off here in the purple car in the 71 car, Greg Leake.
Got a DSL action replay, and it is Bradley Wall. It's a different
Greg Leake, yeah.
Producer apologising for that one. That's all right, Brett. So just going to get the right action replay now.
Okay, yeah, Greg Leake, we've got in the purple car here. We've got Greg Leake coming up, but he's going to come up a bit wide up here.
Yeah, just bottomed out. The car just bottomed out on him, and he couldn't get Yeah, got to be careful if you want to put those tyres on the right hand. You got to make sure it's just the tyres and not the whole car, because it will bottom out. As Alex Court is now on the charge and wanting to get in front of Robbie Griffiths, who I believe has passed him. Alex Court was MP2 not long ago, And these boys are going to have a nice little battle and should provide us with some good racing for the following half hours. A little bit of a mistake from Robbie Griffiths as Alex Court is going to pull up alongside him. He's going to have the run. Is he going to have the run? They're going to look to go side by side through Eau Rouge and Runyon. None of these two drivers backing out. They're going to go almost side by side. And Robbie Griffiths, Alex Court, I think, thinking better of it and dropping back a little bit, wanting to get the draft down the Kemmel straight as he does now.
You might see these guys trying to save a little bit of gas and a little bit of fuel as well, and just trying to keep that draft on and just try and save themselves a little bit, save their tyres a little bit at least, you know. So towards the end, they're going to have a bit more, or make their life easier. I know,
Yeah, of course,
especially for these guys, that's what I'd be doing. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, again, that one compulsory pit stop, as it was 2 weeks ago when we had these F3 cars at Austria. Just going to double check. Just give me 2 seconds. We're just on board now with Greg. Sorry, George Minus. My apologies. Got confused. He's also part of Team Greg, so Team G, I believe it should be now.
Very cool livery. That is super cool. Renault Sport.
So it is. Oh, there's Greg Leake going off, and he's absolutely toasted that car, and he's going to have to tow that one back to the pits. It's going to cost him about 4 minutes, I reckon. Unfortunately. So we're going to get an action replay now.
Oh, he's just locked it up, flat spotted that front right. Oh, and he's hit a bit too much curb. Oh,
I believe this is the first incident.
Wow, the whole front of his car's gone. That is crazy. That is a sight and a half.
Just some technical difficulties, guys. Just bear with us. As I believe, here we go now. We have the second incident from Greg. As I think he has, just locked up into this last corner. It's very easy to lock up because it is a downhill corner. It looks like, he's just taking a bit too much speed, and the front of that car's just gone kablam.
It almost looked like he had a bit of he might have gone off a little bit touch earlier, and got a bit of grass or something on his front tires. It looked like unnatural lock up on those front tires. You know, it almost looked like there was something on them beforehand. So, we'll never know. But we after speaking to the driver, I'm sure he'll be able to tell us. But
as we're just watching now, Robbie Griffiths doing some lovely defending from Alex Court. Alex Court, I have christened as Sergio Perez, the defender, the brick wall, but Robbie Griffiths now is the one doing the defending from Alex Court, and he's showing him some good respect there, some good respect between these two. They're driving very, very well together, and we're going to just see how fast these cars get as we're going to come down on the run into Pouhon. And it's going to be a very, very fast run as they're going to downshift maybe once or twice, and 200 k's an hour coming through a left-hander. There's so much G-force. Of course, not actually on these drivers, but there would be. There would be.
And through there is a bit sketchy. If you get a bit too much curb coming through there, it will just spin you around. So you have to be very, very, very
cautious.
Yeah, very cautious. Yeah, on the throttle through there.
If you're going to commit, you got to commit.
Definitely, you do.
Requires a lot of commitment through that little chicane.
Yeah, but you don't want to be turning that wheel when one of those back wheels gets off over the outside of that curb.
What we got here? We got a nice little overlay of the driver inputs, I believe, as we're going to see Robbie Griffiths coming into the bus stop chicane, and Bradley Wall. Adam Hughes has dropped back from that spin. He's just jumped back up into P9. We can see these boys are fighting almighty hard as the more these guys battle, the more Stefan in front gains. So he'll be wanting to see a lot more of this battling.
I'm loving down the bottom here, guys, with this little kind of heart meter, which is quite cool. I'm assuming known as is actually, it seems like that is how much the trail braking. So you'll see how he came into the source here, guys.
That's his steering input.
Steering input. Oh, okay. Well, I'm wrong then. Excuse me. I thought it might have actually been his trail braking and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool.
I believe we can get those ones. As I've just seen in the chat.
The steering wheel next to it.
reminder from the stewards was to not clear slowdowns in front of other cars, so there may have been a little bit of an incident there, as Alex Court has so much speed through that corner. He's just done a little bit of weaving, showing him that he's there in that rear view mirror on the right hand side. And I don't know if we can go on board with Alex Court and just see how close he really is to Robbie Griffiths. It's about a 5/10 gap, and it looks a little more than 5/10 at the moment, but you can see through poo, and he's going to be very cautious. The dirty air really catches up to you, and he's going to hold some nice speed through there. Nice and clean.
Should we take a trip down to the bottom of the field there? Greg Leake, who came off early, he's 1 lap down, but we've also got John McHenry there, who's dropped right down. He's over a second. He's over a minute behind now, guys. Down at 13th. He did start quite high up there, so that would be interesting to see what the finer details of what's happened there.
Yeah, Adam Hughes has got about 25 minutes or so to catch up. And he's going to be doing as much as he can to gain that 27 seconds that he's dropped back. Not sure if he's going to be able to do it, but I reckon he can get up into that top 5 under the pit stops. He's probably going to do what he did last week and go for that undercut. Not last week, sorry. 2 weeks before.
Oh, he's in.
Alex Court now getting very close. Yeah, you can see he pops out to the right there. Just, hello, I'm here. I'm going to be going for a move soon. I will get it done.
Yeah. I'll show you my nose and then just, show you my intention.
So Alex Court, didn't actually race in the F3s last week, it looks like. He's getting right up the back of him, and he cuts to the left-hand side. And it looks like Robbie Griffiths actually does and is able to keep with him. So they're going to go side by side. Coming into Lake Coombe, it's going to be very, very tight. Robbie Griffiths still has the inside line. Alex Court going to leave him all the space in the world, and actually does get that move done. So a lovely move. Oh, he's nearly at the back end step out there.
On the exit.
Very, very close, as Brett Wardby now making a move on Dylan Thomas, gets that move done. Nice little bit of team orders there. Yeah, you're going to be very careful going past that left hand at the back end, can also step out. So very technical middle sector of the circuit.
Yeah, definitely. With the elevation change and the camber of the change as you come down through Rivage, Bruxelles, and Speaker's Corner as well. Always unsettles cars, no matter what you're driving around this track. Always unsettles the car a bit. So these guys you'll start to see it towards the end, towards the pit window opening. Their tyres starting to degrade quite a bit and things like that. So we might see a few mistakes there. It'll be interesting to see who does an undercut and who does an overcut and that sort of stuff. Who stays out an extra lap, and yeah,
it should be good. So these boys again. Just reminding everyone at home of the rules. So it's a 50% fuel capacity, and they will need to take fuel under their pit stops, and they will need to change all 4 tyres as part of that compulsory pit stop. So it will be a very, very interesting watch. Now, again, we did figure out that we don't see them take off the tyres as Colin Hodgkinson gets right up the back of that Fishy Motorsports car of Dylan Thomas. He's going to cut to the outside. Is he going to be able to make the move around the outside? It looks like he might. He's on the inside, coming to the second part of the bus stop. Leaves him all the room in the world. Maybe a bit of contact between the wheels, and he's got the move done into the bus stop. What a move. So we get a nice chopper cam with Dylan Thomas. He's going to probably look to go back at him. He's probably going to have a look to go back at him and get the draft, as Nathan Verne behind for Locked On Racing is actually catching up to them. Colin Hodgkinson, what a move. And we can see Dylan Thomas actually going into the pits now, making that early pit stop about almost halfway through the race.
So we got the first pit, guys, here.
I reckon he's going for an undercut there, big time.
Yeah, very big time. I think definitely. I thought we'd see the lap 9 undercut. I wasn't sure if anybody would take it, but we'll see if it pays off. It might pay off now, but it might not pay off right in those last couple of laps. And as we saw at Red Bull last week, these guys and these people like Nathan Verne, people like Brett Wardby, these guys will come back really well. They kind of manage their tyres really well. And that second stint, those boys will be pushing hard. So we'll see some people really filter through the pack as we go through after pit stops and during pit stops, I suppose.
Yeah,
Still
Adam
some
Hughes
boys.
actually just set the fastest lap. He's gone quicker than quali, I believe, and he's done a
What?
2:10.825. And just looking at qualifying, yeah, he has definitely gone
He
quicker than
has.
qualifying. Look at that lap. That is
Wow.
almost a
Hey.
tenth faster than what he's done in quali. So that's absolutely incredible from Adam Hughes. Probably with a bit of draft has probably gotten him there and just absolutely hooked that one up.
Yeah. Warm tires. Not as much gas in the tank, and yeah, bit of draft, bit of slipstream there, and just got towed along. So may as well use it to your advantage, you know.
Yeah.
I do like the Jedi on the front wings of Alex Court's car. Just on a side note, just you know, it's a minor detail. Here we go. Wardby's up into 4th already, guys. So we've seen him come up quite a few places now. Wardby's come up 7 places, guys. So he's gone up the most places out of anybody in the race so far, guys. So we've got Brett Wardby, who's gone up 7 places. Bloody hell, that's crazy. We've got Colin Hodgkinson's gone up 3 places from. He's come up from 8th to 5th. Nathan Verne has gone up 4 places from 10th to 6th. Along with him, Steven Sinkovich is having a great race. Also, he's gone up. He's gone up 4 places. And
Nathan Verne,
the commentator.
He's at the pit wall. We've been told. It's the pit lane as they come through La Source, and he will have jumped into the pits now. I think that's a little bit of a. Oh, yes, he's knocked that quite hard.
Flipped.
That's very unfortunate.
It wasn't by much though, just enough to get enough rubber on it to spin him around a bit, didn't it? Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Like he was going into the pits. If he had any damage, he would have been sweet, right? Here we go. So Robbie Griffiths after that pit stop, Nathan Verne jumping in for his pit stop, and a few others jumping in for their pit stops now. So we do have Robbie Griffiths up into 3rd now. He's having a killer race.
And Dylan Thomas, of course, getting the undercut, I suppose, on one of those drivers. Now, we'll be watching ahead for Colin Hodgkinson. And, oh, there's a big incident. Dylan Thomas and Nathan Verne come together. We're going to have to get a replay of that one. We've caught it mid-incident. I reckon there'll be words had between these two boys, as we'll see Dylan Thomas is in front of him. So I wonder what's happened. Probably a bit of a spin. Yeah, he has had a bit of a spin. And oh, he's just followed him there, Nathan Verne. Unfortunate.
Just had to slam on the brakes and he's locked it up, I think. Verne had to lock up the brakes to try and avoid the accident, but he's come off worse, hasn't he?
I don't know if he's come off worse there. They're both pretty close together still. And oh, he has maybe. Alex Court possibly had an incident, we've been told from our producer. Doesn't look like it, but we're going to have a look.
Oh, yes.
Watch him come in to the chicane. Maybe a bit of a lock-up. He has. Oh, he's had a half spin and just dropped a hack behind Robbie Griffiths. That's a lovely save from the After Dark Sim Racing.
Yeah, you would be thanking your lucky stars after that save. You would be, especially at the bus stop, because that's all it wants to do is spin around there. So very quick thinking, quick reflexes from Alex Court there to save himself.
Very quick thinking, very quick. Alex has shown that he's got a lot of skill under saving that car. He's saved the car quite a few times, and in different cars. He's just shown it in the F3. He's done it in the Porsche Cup as well. So he's doing very, very well. Yeah,
he showed pace throughout the a lot of our series, and yeah, quality driver. Colin Hodgkinson up into 2nd now because everyone's jumping in the pits, etc., etc. So who have we got in the? So we got.
We should be able to.
We've got Sinkovich just coming out of the pits now in 9th.
Should be able to get those pit stops up on the standings there. There we go. Stefan Mccarthy has come in for his stop. So Alex Court, of course, in the lead. So about a 20-second gap. So he's going to want to get a very, very good stop in to minimize the damage there. I wonder if I can get it on board there. Just leave it with you. I've got to run after really quick.
Here we go, guys. So, who have we got left for pits now, guys? Just Court and Hodgkinson for left to pit now, guys. I think Alex is trying to stay out there and build himself a little bit of a buffer. He is quick. He just had a few saves. He had an epic save just on the last bus stop chicane for a last lap. Coming back up to the bus stop chicane once again. Hopefully he doesn't have the same thing and there's no commentator's curse here, but yeah, he's nailed it this time. Here we go. He's coming into the pits now. Alex Court coming up into the pits, guys. Doing a beautiful job today. He's tried to build himself a little bit of a gap. Colin Hodgkinson coming into the Colin Hodgkinson coming into the pits also, guys. So that's everybody. That's to wrap out our pit stops now, guys. Alex Court with a great lap there, and he's up 4 positions from start. So he's got some serious pace, and we'll see how he comes out. So Stefan Mccarthy, we're coming out. This is sorting out the boys here. So we got Stefan Mccarthy is still out, and he's still got that gap to Alex Court there. He's got a good 5-second gap there to Alex Court. Alex Court will be on the push to try and to bridge that gap. Robbie Griffiths is out now. He had a slight moment earlier. He's had a bit of a crash there, but he's dropped down to 12 seconds now in third position behind Alex Court. So I think with Alex Court, if he makes no mistakes, he could quite comfortably keep this second position and might be able to fight up to Stefan. But Stefan is building his gap here. Stefan is building his gap. It's up to 6.2 seconds now, almost 6.3 seconds now. And Griffiths is almost 14 seconds behind him. So yeah, we've got some serious pace out there. McCarthane's loving these fresh new tyres, and he's pushing hard. But we will see how much his tyres drop off towards the end, because he pitted at that exact midpoint. There was no undercut or overshot. So we'll see how he goes with that.
I'd like to say Alex has done very, very well there to cut that gap down. Only with it being 7 seconds, he's cut that gap down by quite a long way compared to what Robbie Griffiths was. I heard you saying that he did have a bit of an incident, Robbie Griffiths, so he's dropped down about 5-6 seconds behind Alex Court, and that's going to cost him a little bit, but I reckon he's got a decent gap to Brett Waterby behind, so it should be a nice, comfortable podium. These boys are quite spread out, so it's going to be up to Alex Court, I reckon, to chase down Stefan, as it looks like he is doing it. He will have fresher tyres for the end, but he's got to make sure that they make it the rest of this 15 minutes.
Yeah, especially when he'll be out there. At the moment, he's out there with some clean air, so he should be able to short shift a little bit, save a bit of those tyres for those last couple of laps and stuff like that, because we know he does finish very, very strong. So we'll see. We've just had Brett Woodby just have pass on Colin Hodgkinson for P4 as well. Very interesting. Here we go, guys. This is a bit
pass, but it looks like Callan's dropped about 5 seconds back, so that might be an old pass. Stefan Mccarthane's actually got the draft from Nathan Verne out in front of him, but Alex Court is definitely catching up. Alex Court has just dropped now. He's dropped a whole second really quickly. Never mind. But he is dropping that gap down about 10th or so a lap. It does cost him down on the straights, but he's doing very, very well.
This is a bloody great race. These are awesome cars to watch. Awesome cars to commentate also. Lots of pace, lots of strategy in these cars as well, which is really cool. With the Dallara F3s, they're actually they're all obviously made in the same factory, all the same sort of parts and all that sort of stuff. So it makes a very even racing series, and that's why it is a feeder to Formula 2 and Formula 1 and that sort of thing for drivers from all over the world. So there's just a bit of side notes about the F3 series and Dallara and the rest of it. So it makes it a lot cheaper as well to get into versus Formula 1. Hundreds of millions of dollars for a car and engine, etc., etc. You can do it for much less to get into F3.
Oh, it's still a fair amount. I reckon it's about $200,000, $300,000, so almost $250,000 to get into it. So it is very, very pricey as motorsport is, but these cars are right down to the setups. The setups is what makes that difference, because they are all the same. It's setting that car up for each track and then hauling them to each track and setting them up for that track, and getting all of that down is part of the struggle. And if you can perform at this level, you are definitely able to get into the next level.
Oh,
Hoping that they bring in F2 cars soon to this to iRacing.
That would be absolutely awesome.
Oh, what a lovely shot there on Blanchimont. As we see Dylan Thomas is getting passed by Adam Hughes, and he just sort of lets it happen as he knows Adam Hughes has got the pace. Maybe just want to sit behind and keep that draft. Dylan Thomas now dropping just unfortunately out of that position where he started, but he should be able to gain a couple. And Alex Court now sitting back at that 7-second gap, so he's gaining and then losing that time because of the draft. So be interesting.
We might have had an off track there from John McHenry there. He's just jumped to the pits, so I think he's gotten a bit of damage or something. So he jumped to the pits there, it looks like. So
there we go. We've got the replay. A bit of curb maybe. No, he's got smooth through there, coming through the... yep, too much curb. And that rear end is going to smash against, so that rear ring would have been absolutely clobbered, and that rear left is also gone. Good racing by these boys, and been not too many battles, so to speak, but a lot of nice, just clean racing. Seeing Steven Sinkovich is having a nice look at Bradley Wall. Got really deep there. Had to really slam on the brakes. He probably could have kept that speed, to be honest, but he got very, very close to Bradley Wall in front of him. And Troy Dooley in front of them is going to be watching this battle in his rear view mirrors, hoping to get away for Team 3.
He's got a nice little gap there, though, so he should be able to, as long as there's no little mistakes there, he should be sweet. But it does lend itself, this track, to build up some gaps after a little while, especially with a bit of a longer race, with the midway kind of pit stop and stuff like that. So we will see people push and push, and hopefully we'll get the last kind of, couple of laps there to be a bit closer here.
Sorry. Got a bit distracted there. We can see these boys are actually getting caught. They're about a minute behind Stefan Mccarthy in front. So there's a minute behind them, I reckon. So even though there's a 2-minute 20 lap, so a 2-minute 15, apologies, 2-minute 10. So it is very, very close between these guys. They're hoping to stay in front, not get lapped, and I reckon they'll stay that way. Is that we've got the last 10 minutes now. Should be some good hard out racing. Alex Court going to be pushing very, very hard to try and get back up at Stefan Mccarthy. Not sure if he's going to be able to do it, though.
Yeah, it'll be a push. Essentially, 5 laps to go, really. With that extra kind of run-off time, that'll probably add that extra lap there. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see whether people could bridge the gap, see if there's any last-minute jitters or last couple of lap jitters where people make a few mistakes. So we'll probably look at those last 3 laps, guys. It's going to get pretty intense to see where the cracks will start to show and the pressure starts to really push on then, guys. So
a little bit of fatigue probably going to come into play as well, having driven for about half an hour now, 40 minutes almost. Doesn't seem like a lot when you've got races like 12 hours, 6 hours, and 24 hours, but it is a lot of driving to do. 40 minutes is a lot of driving. I used to do it to work every now and again, and it's a long drive, but it's a good drive.
Dancing on the throttle and brake, etc., etc. So it's a lot more physical than just driving your car down to work and stuff like that as well.
Well, I cannot confirm or deny the way that I drove, but definitely 40 minutes was a recommended time. I think I did it in half an hour.
The speed limit, right, Dano? Yeah, of course.
Sorry?
Always under the speed limit, and
yes, of course. It's usually a 40-minute, 45-minute drive. I think I did it in half an hour once.
Yeah, but totally that's just up to the speed limit, right?
I just hit all the traffic lights though.
Yeah. Cool.
Right, as we're just on board with Colin Hodgkinson now, I don't know if we can get a nice little TV pod view. I do love that little view that Brett has given us. It's absolutely lovely. We get to see all the inputs from the drivers. It's really cool to see just see how quickly Adam Hughes has gotten away from him. He's got 10 seconds to catch in the last 6 minutes now. I don't think he's going to be able to do it, but P5 is nothing to scoff at. And it's a very, very good drive from him, and he should be able to get a good finish. Good recovery.
And it's great. It's actually, you can see some of the same guys, but it has mixed up. The top five's mixed up a little bit from Red Bull from round one. So this is going to be very interesting to see how much the championship points kind of go up and down and stuff like that between.
I think at the moment Stefan Mccarthy will take. I think at the moment Stefan Mccarthy will take the championship lead, given he's only 3 points behind Adam Hughes. Followed by that, I reckon, might be Brett Wardby, who might jump up into P2.
With a great drive, up 7 positions, guys.
Yeah, Alex Court's going to jump up there, I reckon. Probably be around P5, P6. Robbie Griffiths has put in a very, very good drive. He finished P7 last time out, and he's shown that he's got some real pace for that Fishy Motorsports car, and he's able to stick it on P3 for the last 5 minutes now, so he should be able to drive that one home. The Fishy Motorsports have been able to do a second row lockout, I suppose, for the finish, and that'll do a nice, great deal of points for those boys in terms of constructors' points. So that'll be good.
Done very, very well to stick together and work together, and yeah, we had a few bit fiery start and stuff like that, guys. Hopefully, have a fiery end also. Not too fiery, not anybody's, not too much tire smoke and all the rest of it, but
yeah, it should be a good finish. I haven't really had too much action to comment on, as I just want to bring our attention to Colin Hodgkinson and Dylan Thomas, who are very, very close together. It's about 0.8 of a gap behind Colin Hodgkinson to Dylan Thomas. These boys on the battle for P6. It's going to be very close coming into the last 2 laps, I reckon. So this will be the second last lap, and it should be a very good one.
I think this will come to the fore now, guys. The last 2 laps. This is where you'll see how much and who has saved the most tyres, and who's just going to put the foot through the floor right now. Give it some jandal and get it home.
Nah, mate, they're thongs, not jandals.
Nah, cousins.
As we can see, Dylan Thomas now just sitting behind. You can see now 7/10. It's dropping down to 6. He's got that draft, and that draft is all important. You can see just how much of a gap it drops. He was sitting a second behind. He's now just under 4/10. Getting very, very close coming into Lake Coombe. If he can keep with him here into the last couple of corners down through Blanchimont, he's going to be able to probably make a move into bus stop. Is he going to want to make a move this lap, or is he going to want to make a move the next lap? That is going to be up to him to make that clinical decision on whether he can find what's inside him to get those points and take him from Crisscross Motorsports, the Fishy Motorsports. You there, Toddy?
Yeah, I'm here. Just trying to get my bearings of where we are on the track. I love that helicopter
just
shot.
Just past Puon.
Yes, we are. Yeah, helicopter shot is absolutely awesome, isn't it? You gotta love the camera shots in iRacing. It definitely makes you feel like you're almost there. Maybe one day we could be there. You know, in real life.
One of these days, mate. Nice. One of these days.
Put it on the bucket list.
Once this stuff clears up, I reckon we'll be smooth sailing. Maybe another 2 years or so. I reckon. Hopefully not, but I'm going to be at the Australian Grand Prix in about a month or so. So that'll be pretty good. Actually, it is just about a month now.
And it's still going ahead and everything.
I believe so. I haven't heard anything. I've bought my ticket, so So you can
Wow.
see Dylan Thomas now. He has made a sort of half move into the bus stop. He's going to probably sit behind. He's going to maybe feather the throttle a little bit. He's going to be right on the outside. They're going to go side by side into La Source. And you can see he's got a bit wide. He's going to maximize that exit speed to get right in front of Colin Hodgkinson. These boys are going to push it side by side. You can see Barney the flagman waving the white flag. They are on the last lap now. Dylan Thomas gets in front just before they come through Eau Rouge, coming through Radion now. Colin Hodgkinson right behind. He's going to have the draft coming into Lake Coombe. Dylan Thomas going to be looking to defend. He weaves one way. He weaves the other. Can we get an onboard with Colin Hodgkinson right behind? Almost, we can see he brakes quite late. He brakes very, very late. He's going to smooth that car. Oh, he's had it half a minute. He's just lost it.
Commentator. Oh, no.
Just as we've gone on board with Colin Hodgkinson, unfortunately, he has lost the back end of that car. He's just carried a bit too much speed, I think, into Lake Coombe, and you just saw he braked quite late there. He almost had it, and he's done very well. Just a bit unfortunate there. It was a good battle that those two had, and Dylan Thomas has made a clinical move for, I think, the team points. I love that shot. I love that shot so much.
So good. So good. Yeah. So Stefan Mccarthy has actually just had a bloody absolute blinder from the start to finish. It's actually a very, very dominant performance in this race today, guys. Alex Court had earlier stuff to deal with and things, and he's made a good comeback and a very, very valiant effort. He's had a very fast race after that. Robbie Griffiths with an absolute great race again this week. And a very, very... coming over the line, checkered flag, guys.
Yeah, there it is. Stefan Mccarthy taking the checkered flag. A nice win for him over Alex Court, who comes home to finish P2. He's had a very good race as well. Coming out from P5, he's come up to P2. As I said, he would have had a good race. And Robbie Griffiths takes out the podium, the final podium spot for P3. And Brett Wardby going to bring it home for Fishy Motorsports to bring some good points home. And that's going to be some well-needed team points and a good finish from Brett Wardby. Adam Hughes, look at that. 5 seconds he dropped that gap down to. So maybe another 20 minutes and he would have had him. But a good finish from that top 5. What were your thoughts on that race, Toddy?
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I thought Hughesy with his... lap 1 was a bit interesting, wasn't it? We had a few spins and a few repairs there and a few noses off and wings off and that sort of thing. So it was very, very interesting to see how it all kind of played out. And it was always going to be one of those races, right, Dedo? At Spa, it's always a bit like, no matter how many times you've raced around Spa, it's sometimes always takes you by surprise. So, you know, it depends on the day and that sort of stuff, just like most races. So it was very, very good, and it was good to see some people get up some really awesome spots. You know, Alex Court up 3 spots, Brett Wardby up 7 spots, you know, with the 4th there. But it's great to see Robbie Griffiths, Alex Court, and Stefan Mccarthy in the top 3 there. And Stefan Mccarthy, as you were saying, will get the championship lead after this round 2, which is very good.
Yeah, it was a good finish from the boys, and we can see these just coming home now is George Minus, the final card across the line, and he's going to come through, just trundle home in that nice Red Bull livery for Team Greg. Sorry, not Red Bull, Renault. My apologies. 2006 Renault iconic livery for Fernando Alonso. So there we go. He's come across the line, and that'll do us for that race.
Steven Sinkovich with the top 10 once again for this week. Very good effort. Very good effort. If I'm not mistaken, he got a top 10 last week as well, which is very good.
Yeah, you can take us through the grid here, Toddy.
Cool, let's go. So we got in first, McCarthy, Stefan Mccarthy in first. Cool. And Robbie Griffiths rounding up our top 3 guys. Brett Wardby and Adam Hughes in 5th. We've got Thomas in 6th. 7th is Hodgkinson. Dooley will followed up for a Steven Sinkovich for our top 10. From there on, we've got George Minus, Nathan Verne, Greg Leake, John McHenry, Jake Edwards, and our safety car and race control. Down the bottom there, Scotty Barton and Scotty Rankin. So, yeah. But I'll just shout them out as well, just seeing that they're on the grid. Why not? Thank you very much for your services tonight, guys. So thank you.
Yeah, I'll get start off with the race winner. I reckon we'll get Stefan Mccarthy in here. Just a moment. There we go. Stefan, are you with us, mate?
Yeah, sure am.
Yeah, how was that race for you, mate? It's looked like pretty smooth sailing the whole race. Not too many issues. Getting some nice clean getaway and seeing pretty smooth sailing from there.
Yeah, it was pretty smooth. Me and Adam had a bit of a game plan, but unfortunately sort of came a cropper at turn 2 now with the layout we're running. So, but no, all in all, was pretty smooth sailing. Overfilled the car a bit, but it looked like everyone might have done that because I didn't lose a lot on the pit stop. So, yeah, end of the day, happy as with the result.
Yeah. Any sort of incidents that really happened in that race? I know Alex Court sort of got you on the pit stop. Are you worried at all that he was going to come back at you?
I thought he might have been a little bit closer than he was, just because he got the extra lap out of that first tank, which is probably a couple of seconds in the pit lane. But nah, after sort of the first lap where I saw Adam and Jake sort of bin it themselves and a few other people request a tow, I thought that I'd avoided all the carnage, so just sort of put my head forward, and Alex and Robert were having a good battle, which allowed me to just do my thing and drive away. So that was pretty smooth sailing. I was pretty happy with it.
Once again, congratulations on the win. Anyone else? Anyone you'd like to thank? Your sponsors, of course, and everyone else at home.
Yeah, just the team and SRW for running. Obviously, our sponsors, Smoke Studios, our main sponsor, Jennifer Russell Real Estate, KYB. Couldn't do without you guys, so thank you.
Oh, cheers! It was a good race. Once again, congratulations on the win.
Cheers, guys.
Congrats, mate. Awesome.
So now joined by Alex Court. Alex, how's that race for you, mate? Jumping up 3 positions, starting P5. You've got up into the podium positions. Nice little P2 from you. How was that race for you?
Yeah, pretty much perfect, to be honest. Would have been nice to gain one more spot and get a P1, but I'm not going to complain with a P2, that's for sure.
You had a nice battle with Robbie Griffiths for quite a while there. It seemed like that he was making the car just as wide as you do usually under that defense. Did you have any tactics or anything on a way to pass him, or did you just sort of wait for the right moment sort of thing and let the car do the talking?
Yeah, look, it was great battle with Robbie, so credit to him there. We were toe for toe there, like I'd get the toe, he'd get the toe, I'd pass him, he'd pass me, and then unfortunately he just had a small spin there, and I capitalised on that. So yeah.
Yeah, he seemed to got to get quite a good few couple of saves, mate. So he came round through the bus stop a couple of times and saved it where I don't think Robbie ended up saving it that last time. So I think that was the difference there, huh?
You had a good save actually, Alex, and coming through bus stop, you just lost it a little bit. That was a great save, slammed right on the brakes and caught the car. Talk us through that one.
So my one of my engineers, Dan Schultz, was feeding me information just as I was coming into the corner. So yeah,
distracted and
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But hey, I was able to save it, thankfully. So yeah.
Anyone you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, as always. 2 seconds, sorry. As always, DSL Welding, Corp IT, Dragon RC, Above and Below Stump Grinding, Tree Minded, Mod Tent, Racing with Autism Australia, ABC Transport, and AA Designs. Also 2 of my own personal sponsors there, DSL Welding and Racing with Autism Australia. Also, as always, shout out to Gary Bradshaw over in New Zealand for tuning in, and also to all the boys at After Dark Sim Racing and Scotty and Dan for engineering for me tonight.
Sweet as. Thank you very much, Alex. I'm going to bring in Griff O now as he's called in Discord. Robbie, good race for you, mate. P3. Probably wanted that P2. How was that race for you? It looked like a pretty good one.
very up and down, I guess. Yeah, it started off really good. There was a great battle there with Alex for the first half of it, but she's a very very skittish car, very difficult on cold tyres. So yeah, it was a bit tough. But anyway, unfortunately the pit stop there, the outlap with the next set of cold tyres had a bit of a rotation, so that let Alex get away for a good 5.5 second gap. So couldn't pull it back from there, unfortunately.
Now, I have nicknamed Alex Court Sergio Perez because of his defensive abilities. Would you say that stands up to that nickname?
Oh, he certainly he drives a great line and defends well. But some good mutual respect there tonight. A couple of overtakes from both of us, both directions, and there was he let me go and I let him go, and that's always good. That makes for good racing if you can allow that to happen. So. Yeah, good big rap for Alex. He's going really well.
Yeah, it was a good race. Toddy, you got anything to add?
Nah, just absolutely great race. It was good to see you carving through the pack again tonight, which was pretty good. You did very, very well, and well done.
Yeah,
exciting racing for everybody.
Yeah, I think a few of the guys are only new to the car. It's only my second race, so I managed to get a little bit more pace this race with the long straights, but the detriment of downforce is, I guess, tricky, very tricky.
So is it tricky to get your setup right and that sort of stuff for Spa? I found it pretty difficult to try, and I did some practice laps, and it was pretty hard, pretty difficult to get the
hard. Yeah, absolutely. The hard thing is it takes a good 4 laps before it even warms up, so you can test the setup. So it's a lot of time to keep trying to make changes and see what effect it has, because it takes so long to warm it up. It's a 10-minute stint just to get a feel for it. So yeah, it was pretty difficult, but we're getting there. We're cutting a couple of setups away in the garage now, so hopefully as the season progresses we'll get better with the shorter tracks and longer tracks.
Nice.
Sweet as. Anyone you want to thank, Robbie, just before we let you go?
Oh yeah, mate. As usual, I'll thank you guys for putting on SRW as well, for hosting all the events, and all of the Fishy Motorsports guys, the sponsors: West End Motor Group, DC Shades, Black Wolf Graphics, Parramatta Peugeot and Great Wall, and Precision Sim Training, West End Mazda, Parramatta Isuzu, and Relax Marine and Game Fishing. Thanks to all.
Sweet as. So I think that will bring us to the end of our broadcast. So to wrap up tonight of the DSL Welding F3 championship, a lovely little championship as we're having out. It is spiced up tonight by Stefan Mccarthy's win. Alex Court, one of the new boys to the series tonight, has also come out P2, and Adam Hughes taking a big little hit there on the top of the table. DSL Welding F3 Championship is brought to you by Sim Racing World, live on our SRW TV. Don't forget to hit that like button, that follow button on all our social media pages. Make sure to subscribe, comment, share us around, get us out there, get us known. If there's something that you want to tell us, we want to know about it. So make sure to hit that notification bell to be notified when we go live next. And on behalf of the team here at SRW TV, and on behalf of our producer, Brett and Todd, I am Dano, signing off tonight and saying goodnight, and we will catch you all Thursday for the Porsche Cup at Spa-Francorchamps.
Sweet as. Much love, legends.
Good night, guys.